It was a calm Saturday morning when David Thompson decided to take his usual walk along the town's historic fountain plaza. The air was crisp, the sound of water splashing against the stone carried through the square, and families were out enjoying the start of the weekend. To David, this plaza wasn't just stone and benches, it was history. For over 50 years he had watched it evolve, from a gathering place for festivals to a quiet retreat for book readers and sketch artists. It was the soul of his small community. But as he rounded the corner near the fountain, he noticed something unusual. Bright lights were flashing, camera equipment was scattered, and a small group of people fussed over a woman in a sparkling red gown. She stood in the middle of the plaza as though she owned the space, posing dramatically while shouting directions at the photographer. At first, David thought nothing of it. Maybe it was a wedding shoot or perhaps an advertisement. But when he sat down on his favorite bench with a small cup of coffee, the woman's eyes narrowed at him like he had just committed a crime. "Excuse me?" she snapped, stomping her heels across the cobblestones. "You can't sit there. You're ruining my shot." David looked around in confusion. The plaza was massive wide open, with dozens of benches and corners for pictures. His small presence on one bench couldn't possibly affect her shoot. "Ma'am," he said calmly, "this is public property. I'm just here like everyone else." Her face twisted. "Public property? No, I rented this space for my shoot. This is my area today, so you need to move." The photographer, looking uncomfortable, tried to step in. "Karen, maybe we can adjust the angle," but the woman, now fully embodying her entitled role, held up a manicured hand. "No, I'm not compromising. This plaza is mine for the day." David chuckled lightly. "Unless you bought the city overnight. I don't think that's how this works." The people nearby giggled at his remark, but Karen wasn't laughing. Her face turned red. "You don't understand who I am. I'm on the HOA board for Rivergate Heights, and people respect me. If I say this area is mine, it is." David leaned back on the bench. "Well, I don't live in your HOA, and this," he gestured to the fountain, "isn't in your neighborhood. So again, this is public. You can't order me around." The tension was growing. Families stopped to watch, whispering among themselves. David wasn't one to seek drama, but something inside him bristled at her arrogance. He had lived his whole life in this town, watched over the fountain with pride. And he wasn't about to let some self-important HOA Karen treat it like her private property. Karen's voice grew louder. "If you don't move, I'll call security. Or the police. I'll have you banned for trespassing." "Go ahead," David replied evenly. "I'd love to see how you explain banning taxpayers from public land." The photographer sighed. Clearly embarrassed. "Karen, please, we're wasting time." But Karen wasn't listening. She stormed off, phone in hand, heels clicking angrily against the stone. Within minutes, 2 uniformed community security officers approached. They weren't police, just plaza guards who kept the peace. "This man," Karen declared dramatically, "pointing at David, is harassing me and refusing to leave my photo shoot." The officers looked at David. "Sir, can you tell us what's going on?" David stood, calm as ever. "I was sitting on this bench enjoying my coffee when she came over demanding I leave. I reminded her this is public property, that's all." Officers exchanged a look. One turned to Karen. "Ma'am, this plaza is indeed public property." "We can't make him leave," Karen gasped, as if betrayed. "Are you kidding me? Do you know who I am?" "I'm on the HOA board, and I know the mayor personally. If I say I've reserved this area," then the officer cut her off. "Do you have a permit?" She blinked. "What? A permit?" he repeated. "For exclusive use of the plaza. Wedding parties, commercials, large gatherings. Anyone wanting private use needs a city permit. Do you have one?" Her lips trembled. I don't need a permit. I'm an HOA president." The crowd that had gathered broke into laughter. David couldn't help but grin. "Looks like the rules apply to everyone, Avenue." "Yes." Just when it seemed Karen might finally back down, she did something no one expected. "Ash!" She snapped her fingers. At her assistant and barked, "Get him out of here." 2 burly men from her entourage started toward David, clearly ready to intimidate him. The crowd gasped, some pulling out phones to record. But before they reached him, a deep, authoritative voice rang out. "That's enough." Everyone turned. A tall man in a city official's uniform approached, none other than the plaza supervisor, Mr. Hernandez, who happened to be inspecting the area that morning. Known for his fairness and no-nonsense approach, he was respected throughout the community. "What's going on here?" he demanded. David quickly explained the situation. Gren tried to interject, but Hernandez raised his hand. "Ma'am, I heard enough from the recordings already. People have been filming this entire time." Karen froze, her eyes darting to the many phones pointed at her. "This plaza belongs to the community," Hernandez continued. "Unless you have a valid permit, you have no authority to kick anyone out. And threatening physical force against a resident? That's unacceptable." Karen's voice cracked. "But I'm on the HOA board." "And that means nothing here," Hernandez said firmly. "You're banned from hosting any future shoots in this plaza without proper authorization. Consider this your warning." The crowd erupted in applause. David felt a surge of satisfaction, not for himself, but for the community that had stood its ground against entitlement. Karen, humiliated, tried to storm off with what little dignity she had left, but the damage was done. The videos of her tirade spread online by the end of the day, painting her as the HOA Karen who tried to steal public property. For David, the experience was strangely empowering. That evening, as he sat again on his favorite bench, he noticed strangers approaching him. "Hey, thanks for standing up to her," one woman said. "People like that think they can boss everyone around." Another man shook his hand. "We needed that reminder. This place belongs to all of us." David realized that by simply refusing to be bullied, he had sparked something bigger, a sense of unity. The plaza wasn't just stone and water, it was community, freedom, and equality. And no HOA president could ever take that away. A week later, David received a letter in the mail. At first, he feared it might be from Karen's lawyer. But when he opened it, he found an official city notice. "Dear Mr. Thompson, thank you for protecting the integrity of our public spaces. Due to your actions, we've been inspired to launch a new community initiative, Voices of the Plaza. As a symbol of appreciation, we'd like to dedicate your favorite bench with a plaque honoring your commitment to the people of this town." David smiled, tears welling in his eyes. Who would have thought that sitting on a bench, refusing to be bullied, would leave behind a legacy? When Karen next walked past the plaza, she saw it, a shiny bronze plaque on David's bench that read, "This bench belongs to the people, never to be claimed by one." The crowd's laughter from that day echoed in her memory. For once, Karen had no words. For David, the plaza would forever remain a symbol of standing firm against arrogance and and entitlement. This story is just the beginning. There is so much more ahead. Subscribe to the channel to join me on this journey.